Oh shit, what'd I miss?
Hey, how's it going, guys and gals? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Insider Gaming News Talk Show. I'm joined by Kitty Crusade and House Hendo today. How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good.
All right. Happy Easter to all you who celebrating today.
Oh yeah, happy Easter. It is the Easter episode of the Insider. Got a little bit of news talking. It's a little bit more quiet week, which is I'm kind of surprised. We're not usually used to these quiet weeks because lately it's been like report after report after report after report of something going on. And this week is kind of on the chill end. It seems like, I think, with all the spring breaks and everything going on, everybody's just kind of having a little bit of time out. Like I've had coworkers out on and off like the last 2 weeks because their kids have been on vacation and whatnot, or on spring break. But yeah, let's get going with what we got usually. What have you guys been playing this week?
Hendo, you first.
I've been playing Jurassic World. They dropped a new update earlier this week. They added 3 new carnivores.
Oh, nice.
It's some new exposition. So I've been playing the crap out of that so I can actually unlock them. I unlocked 1. I still got 2 more to go. But it's pretty cool.
That's like the Planet Coaster like game, right? You made
Yes.
Jurassic Park.
Yes, it's the one made by Frontier that made Planet Coaster. Actually, same company. And yeah, you get all 5. You get to unlock all 5 islands of the Jurassic Park franchise and build parks on each of them. And the dinosaurs break out in each, I guess. You gotta build shelters and send out trank teams and all kinds of crazy shit. And they're assholes. Dinosaurs are assholes.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember a lot of. I played Zoo Tycoon a whole lot when I was younger. I don't think I could take it with dinosaurs. I was pretty
dude,
bad at that game.
Roller Coaster Tycoon, man, it's all about it.
Oh, they're so picky, dude. They're so like, some of them have to be in, like, you can't have no less than 5 of them. They're all just gonna have pissy fits and like break out. Like, it's ridiculous. They're so picky. But what you been playing, Kitty?
Enter the Gungeon, mostly because of the new update. I'm still trying to 100% that. I'm bad at it. And then last night I was up till 4 a.m. because a Risk of Rain 2 run with my friend ended up going 200 minutes when the longest I had done before that was 45. So I beat that
Holy
game.
moly.
And I don't have to play it anymore.
Damn it, I was here about to get it and be like, let's play it, man. And now you're done.
Oh,
with it.
they're still putting a bunch of updates in. I'm good for this update cycle. New items, I'm back in.
Nice.
It's really good. Definitely worth nabbing.
I was thinking about it because that's one of the. It's like on a list. I'm actually trying to like break through my backlog right now, at least of recent releases. Like, forget everything else like that. I'm really, my backlog is like hundreds deep if I go to my real backlog. But my immediate backlog is like 10 games, and I'm trying to get through them right now. One of the ones I actually got this week, thanks to the guys at Focus Home, I got a copy of me and Tutu got copies of World War Z, which, man, that game, it is quite literally the perfect like predecessor to Left 4 Dead, like the second Left 4 Dead. Like, mine take a little bit less of the crazy melee stuff that you could do in Left 4 Dead, but add character classes with a ton of customization and gun customization with a ton of customization per weapon. and basically like throw you in a bunch of stuff with really cool multiplayer modes. So you have co-op multiplayer, which is playing through like the story stuff that you get in like traditional Left 4 Dead and so on and so forth. But they do cool stuff with the zombie towers, like in the movies. You know how they all like rush and pile up and make a big pyramid and like start like getting up the walls.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah. So that's their thing in the game, and it works great. It's awesome, and it's actually it doesn't feel like you're gonna. It looks overwhelming at first, but you can actually fight it and be pretty cool with it. The other big cool thing was the multiplayer. It has 5 multiplayer modes that also are PvPvE. So you go during the matches, you have like your objectives, like it's team deathmatch or like domination or a couple other modes like King of the Hill and stuff like that. But swarms randomly pop up during your match to fuck with you, like as you're doing stuff. So it makes it really interesting. But I've been having a blast with that. I've been playing that this week a lot. I actually played that last night till like 1 a.m. and then went to sleep and then heard
what are the team sizes?
4 players each.
Yeah, I was watching you guys play that like 2 days ago. Do they have plans for the Left 4 Dead 2 mode where people get to play as the zombies?
I haven't seen that yet. I don't know what their future plans are. I haven't really dug into that part yet.
I want to see if they go that way because I know they went and made Evolve, right? That was their thing after Left 4 Dead. Am I right?
No, Evolve. Well, Evolve was somebody else. That was like that was Epic's.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah,
I thought it was the same head developer. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, could
be. I think it was the same developer, but it wasn't the same company. Like it was the same actual dev.
Yeah,
he just went over to another group.
Well, Evolve was 2K too. Yeah, that was a
yeah. That's where basically where Epic kind of came from. So
no, according to Wikipedia, the concept came from the when they were making Left 4 Dead. But anyway. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Which is why I think we haven't seen a Left 4 Dead 3. But yeah, I really like that kind of not equal teams multiplayer, and I want to see more of that. I'm hoping we see more of it soon.
Yeah, it's definitely like a huge appeal to me. Like it's really refreshing too to play something like that. And then another one I played early in the week last week was a game called Sigma Theory, where you're basically trying to create the Sigma tech, and depending on what there's like 6 kinds of Sigma tech. And as the countries grow, you like go and steal. It's like espionage, basically. You go and steal their technology or their scientists or something out of the labs, and you go and take them and try to get them to your side to help develop stuff faster and go on and so forth. And it's really tough.
That's kind of cool. It's kind of like a game where you just do Operation Paperclip all over the place.
Basically, then you can go and you can hack their stuff to lower alertness. Or you can, play the diplomacy role as the director and go and talk to the world leaders or the diplomats and be like, hey, we're not trying to do anything. Let's work together and do things. And I kind of underutilized that a little bit. And I got a little frustrated with it because one of my games ended abruptly and apparently that was a bug. And I was like, man, I thought I was on a good roll. Like I didn't know I was like pissing people off for this one. But yeah, so it's interesting. It's good. It was a good time.
That was another game I wanted to check out and kind of watch for a bit, but I missed out on it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely worth it, I think.
But yeah, I know that I watched you and Tutu play the zombie game for a while, and I'm like, man, this is definitely one I should nab. I've been wanting something like Left 4 Dead for a long time.
Dude, it's worth it, man. Like I mean, my only downside obviously is on the Epic Store, and I was really hesitant to do it, obviously for said reasons, but despite that, I mean, it works pretty good. There's 2 bugs that were kind of weird this week, and I think they fixed them yesterday because we had a huge like gig patch yesterday. Was multiplayer, your progress in your class would sometimes just disappear, and you'd have to restart multiple times to try to get it to come back. So I think they fixed that one.
Make me rage.
Yeah, that I didn't have it happen to me, but Tutu did, and then he just continued on playing and just reload. He was only like level 3 or something on the class he was playing, so he's like, whatever. It's like 3 missions and we're fine. And then the other one was your friends would show up as grayed out and you couldn't invite them. That was one that happened when you were trying to invite your friends to the games, which is also like another rage-inducing thing for depending on the person. So that's its own. I think they fixed those, but anyway, along with a few other things. But it's running. I mean, it ran smooth last night. I had a blast with it. So.
Yeah, no, it looked real smooth when I was playing it, and I just love the the one good scene from the World War Z movie was in it, where there's just 1,000 zombies trying to climb up a wall, and you're just shooting at them,
And that's
making
what
them fall.
you do with
That's
that one, which is great.
yeah, that's just a really good looking bit in a game. And it's something I've never seen used before.
Yeah, and then the fact that you have like a myriad of ways to bring them down. You could do like a grenade launcher, a bazooka. You could throw your own grenades down, or you could just plain out shoot at them. You could get on a turreted machine gun and shoot them down and do it. And the more you shoot like towards the bottom, obviously you could cut them off and they start falling and tumbling. And then not all of them die, obviously, from like a grenade hit. Some of them will just tumble over and just get back up and try to do it again. It's great. And it doesn't feel overwhelming. Like I worried at first that the World War Z style zombies were too fast for players to react to, but they do it in such a good way that it's balanced, very well balanced.
Yeah, because on paper that doesn't sound like that would work too well, because they are kind of like the 28 days later zombies. Like they just rage and run and swarm.
And they do. And they, even when you like, if you get into an area where they're just kind of like stagnant and just like like walking around and not really doing much, and you come in to make a bunch of noise, they trigger to you. But it doesn't rush at you so fast that you can't do anything. And then they also have like a pretty good melee mode where you have like a five stamina thing that you go through. And if you go through it, you just start swinging a little bit slower or a little bit less power, or sometimes your next hit won't kill them entirely, so you have to swing it at them again, or you just wait a second, run back, shoot them a little bit. And it's pretty good in that regard. So I liked a lot of that stuff. Like the balance feels really well in it, especially like last night I played a harder mode for the first time. So me and Tutu went through it normal, and then blasted through some missions last night on hard, and hard like it's pretty good. Like it definitely gets challenging, and you have to really pay attention to those elements of like, go through a certain area with a sniper so you don't trigger everything in this room, so you could just kind of smoothly move through and have no problem. One time we went in guns a-blazing and we got wrecked, like wrecked.
You Leroy Jenkins?
Oh no, not me. Somebody else did, and I was like, "You guys, what are we doing?" And they're just like, "We're just killing the zombies, man." He's like, "Oh shit, there's a lot."
Yeah, I like because in Left 4 Dead, once you start by going really slow and like being like, "Oh, we have to be careful," and then once you realize how the game works, you like actually just run the whole time and
don't look back.
Yeah. Once you figured out how the AI pathing was working in Left 4 Dead, you were just triggering those spawns just for the XP. It was easy.
Yeah, this one, if you do it too much, then it'll backfire on you pretty well, and that's actually something they do really good. Like
I like that because
they tempo it basically.
Because I know a lot of game companies have been trying to get that adaptive AI for the NPCs so they can actually evolve.
And that's the thing is they
trigger anybody who's worried about Skynet. Don't worry, we're not talking about that.
No,
we're talking about NPCs in video games.
This one they definitely do, because they go through basically, if you go and start making a bunch of noise, the zombies will come after you. But if like your teammate, you stop shooting and you say you're reloading or something, and your teammate starts making more noise, they can actually redirect and go to your teammate again, which is kind of cool. Like it shifts around that focus. So that's kind of a neat thing. Let's go on some of our news this week. One of them actually was kind of cool. This was actually cool to hear about. Cool and sad at the same time. I don't know. We heard about the Notre Dame thing happening earlier this week, which is definitely unfortunate. I don't know how that started either. I still have yet to hear how that fire started.
I believe it's because they're working on renovation, Notre Dame.
And then
so they had all of the artwork outside of Notre Dame, which made things pretty safe. But
that's good, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Assassin's Creed Unity gets a reverse review bomb, basically. Like a positive review bomb for them releasing the game for free so people can experience the Notre Dame Cathedral in all its glory, because they did full structure scans of the cathedral when they made the game, including the surrounding areas and everything. So they're giving away Assassin's Creed Unity for free. If you guys haven't picked it up on Uplay, you can still pick it up now for free. Still there. But yeah, I think it was over 500 positive reviews in less than 10 days.
Yeah, and didn't they also release those scans fully to the French government so they could rebuild?
Yep.
Yeah, that said, that building is one of the most documented buildings in history. There's one guy who spent months getting laser etchings of every single point of that building from every foot within it. So they had 10 million points of reference for rebuild. So
Well,
I thought it was funny Assassin's Creed sent it over because I'm like, dude, they have it already. You guys weren't the first ones to like make that building.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been around for 900 years. There's been plenty of drawings and illustrations the whole way through.
Yeah.
They
They
but
could definitely
having
do it.
they got so many minute details that usually don't get documented though. I think that was the thing. Like they got like weird nooks and crannies that they would just have to guess, kind of like what they're going through with the Parthenon in Greece. There's little etchings inside that Kurtamas they just have to guess at because nobody knows what the hell it originally looked like before the Turks trashed it. Well, the Ottoman Turks. I'm not talking about Turkey right now, people. Okay, I'm talking about the Ottoman Empire before World War One. They're not a thing. Okay.
Dude, I have an ottoman in my living room. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jeez. Oh man. But yeah, it was really cool to hear that at least they were trying to do something cool, which kind of brought gaming to light in another way, even though it wasn't. I don't think it was in the best way, but at the same time, it was kind of cool just to see it. Just
Yeah, no, I'm not
reference.
saying it was bad or anything. I thought it was funny because I've heard a few people be like, yeah, luckily they'll be able to rebuild it due to Assassin's Creed. I'm like, it was a nice display, and like I'm happy they did it, but like,
Yeah.
they were fine.
Yeah, they were fine.
That's the most photographed building in France. Actually, probably the Eiffel Tower, but maybe.
Well, Western culture in general, it's a huge icon. Even in Disney, it's a huge icon. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. We all got childhood nostalgia for that building. It's all admitted.
A really good joke tweet about Quasimodo, and no one liked it. It was a good time.
Dude, that was a good joke. I think I liked it. I think I had it anyway. Anyways, this other one actually, I don't know if you guys got to experience this. Kitty, I don't know if you did or not, with the Joker pack finally coming to Smash Bros. And then basically servers couldn't handle it day one.
Yeah, I waited a few days to play. I haven't actually played as Joker, but I did play against him a few times. Nintendo's online such a joke.
Maybe
Luckily, paying for it, you can just get it free using Amazon Prime. But like, man,
maybe you can actually, maybe Xbox will actually help them a lot in the infrastructure department once they finally get that ball rolling.
Hopefully. That said, yesterday I was playing, and I had like one bit of lag the entire like 2-hour bit. So it was probably the best online experience I've had so far. So hopefully we stick to that.
Hopefully.
But, yeah.
Speaking of like the whole console generation, I'm kind of skeptical on what's going on right now. Like we heard news of the PS5 coming out. The first details of the PS5 coming out, and I'm kind of skeptical on the fact of why it's such a big deal. Because sure, like Xbox One X came out, which is basically the equivalent of this thing currently, or maybe just a little bit more than it. But what do you guys think is going to be like this big draw for like console gaming going forward? Because like the cloud gaming is really going to become a predominant thing, especially with like Stadia, GeForce Now, this other one I think is called Shadowplay, and a couple of these other like big cloud services that basically take nothing to run, at least on the consumer end.
In my mind, the only thing I think they have right now is exclusivity. Like, I own a Switch because I like Smash Bros. And I like Zelda. If I don't need a Switch for those, I'm not going to have one.
Yeah.
Like, I have a PS4 for Red Dead Redemption, and I know there was another game I bought, a few of them back in the day. I don't remember many more.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing. I think
more and stuff. But like, after that, why do it? I already have a good PC,
Yeah.
I think what's going on in my personal view is those of us who are gamers, we don't really mess with consoles unless it's a game that we really want, and that, just like Kay said, console exclusive. Consoles have become more of like a casual, just consumer thing. Consoles are more for kids or the casual players, the people that don't really get into gaming. Those who are actually gamers are getting more in the PC and the streaming services because that's, it's kind of like a playground for us. It is. While the people who are more casual, it's beginning to reflect in sales. And get the consoles who were the original homeland of the gamers, back in the 80s when this all started, are trying to retain that, and they're really doing a crappy job.
Yeah, I think definitely just having such a thin barrier of entry of you pay us money, you get the thing, you plug in, you can play the game, is pretty big. Because whether or not we want to admit it, PC gaming is more to do.
Yeah,
it takes a little longer, and it's
Yeah, it is. It's
Get
not for the
customized.
casual person. Yeah.
But at
So,
the
I think
same
it's
time,
fair.
I always think as gamers as a whole, as gamers, like I don't really separate any of. I mean,
Well, I'm not
if
trying to
everybody,
separate. I'm just talking about like people who are like more hardcore in the game. Like people are just like, yeah, I just play with my buddies. You know, we just
Yeah.
drink a few shots and play Madden. You know, once a month. You know, those guys are the ones that are gonna keep buying consoles. The
and
ones who are having like regular game nights, they're like, okay, we'll
I
do
think
this, but you know, I'd rather meet up with everybody on the PC because then I can have like a party of like 86 people we can play.
yeah, I think that the cloud gaming, because it'll come to so many more devices and have that different easy path of access. I think is going to break down that barrier eventually.
Yeah,
Like there's not going to be
especially
much
if,
of a barrier to have between PC and console because everybody will play on the same thing in the end.
if they can normalize it, I think is a big deal too, because it's like there's so much, say like Fortnite being played because you can do it on your phone, you can do it on PC, you can do it anywhere, and it's free. So the barrier entry is so low, it's the most popular game.
Yeah,
And if you just turn all games into, hey, you have a phone, like yeah, you can play. It'll be better on this, but you know, start it on your phone, go right ahead. But
exactly.
like I know there's phones you can plug in a PS4 controller into a phone and play, which is wild. But like, if you can just do that, why have like a console?
Exactly. Like
But
you
there's
pay a
yeah,
subscription and get more for less, and if you don't need to use it anymore, well, it's not like you have a $400 console sitting around now. You just
yeah.
cancel the subscription. Okay, I'll come back to it in 6 months.
And there's also the bit in my mind though of like those services still seem a little bit sketchy to me. In the same way, like Netflix seems sketchy to me at first. I'm like, you're just gonna mail me movies? I don't think I'm gonna do that nonsense. But I think if you can get a few people on it and then they're like, yeah, no, it works fine. There's no problems with it. I'd be like, oh, okay. There's a lot of services like that where I'm like, I'm not really sure. And then once I see it's like
It's
perfectly
proven.
fine,
It's a proven platform, yeah.
like
Or
Yeah,
once
like
it becomes proven.
like Blue
like
Apron and stuff was
or
sketchy at
or
first, and I'm
like subscription boxes like Loot Crate or like Culture Fly. You know, it's just like, am I gonna get a box of crap? Am I gonna get some good stuff? Am I gonna even test it?
yeah.
Yeah.
You need the guinea pig friend who's like, nah, dude, it's pretty sick actually. And you're like, okay. And now everyone I know watches Netflix every day of their life.
I mean, yeah, like Netflix is like the hugest thing now, at least to me. And then I like touching on that just a little bit is the Disney Plus, man. I'm actually excited for it after Star Wars Celebration. So many cool things that are coming to it, and actually, I think it'll actually be worth it. I don't know if it's still worth canceling all the really good Netflix shows, Marvel shows, which still pisses me off. But you know, I'll hold my judgment.
I
Well,
will say I do have a bit of a rumor coming out that Disney might be looking at buying Nexon, which could be pretty wild. I don't know what'll
Nexon.
come out of that, but Nexon does
The game company.
Maple Story.
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
okay.
which
Well,
I'm like,
that'd be
who
crazy.
knows if they will, but it's kind
real
of
quick
interesting.
real quick back to Netflix. One thing I'm not, while I am upset because you know I did like how they were making that, you know, that Marvel series universe. It was really well done, even with the problems with Iron Fist. It was still coming together well
Yeah.
as a whole.
Oh, absolutely.
But after like, you know, shows they've made like Altered Carbon and stuff, I have no problem with Netflix getting rid of Marvel and just doing IPs. Like that was the best book to live action adaptation I've ever seen was Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon
It,
was fantastic. Like there was
it,
no negative side to that, I don't think.
and the animes that Netflix is coming out with are actually really good.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if Funimation's get a little shaken in their books over like Seven Deadly Sins and some of the ones they've come because they're actually entertaining and they're true to form. So while yeah, it does suck that, you know, we're gonna lose all the Marvel movies. So watch your Infinity Wars now, people, if you haven't, on your Netflix subscription. It's gonna be gone soon. And you know, I just think Netflix got like a lot, and I really hope Netflix really digs into sci-fi books and fantasy books and doing true to life adaptations, because it seems to me it works out great, and I can't wait for Altered Carbon season 2 that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a really well done cyberpunk thing, which is like there's not good cyberpunk, which
No. They're not
and
up to
also,
this point. Up to that show, there
fun
was
fact-
not good cyberpunk out.
yeah,
Fun
I'm
fact-
trying to think of Blade Runner.
Well,
That's
good
it.
Blade Runner.
Well-
Runner
Well, also Alita is also technically cyberpunk. And fun fact, I found out that the showrunner for Altered Carbon actually was responsible for Alita in large part. Like she did a lot of the set design and all that stuff.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen that yet.
I want to
I know
watch it.
Tommy has.
I was
I haven't seen it yet.
convinced
Oh,
it
you
was
didn't get?
bad.
Oh,
I wanted to
no,
see
it was
I
good.
really wanted to see it.
I barely go to the theaters, and I went and saw it fucking twice. And I don't do that shit
I
at
don't
all.
watch trailers often, so I saw the name in the description and I go, that doesn't sound good.
Like it almost redeemed Roger. It almost redeemed Rodriguez for me with Shark Boy and Lava Girl. It came that close. It almost redeemed that
Oh,
movie. That's how
man.
good it was, Kitty.
How
It
do
was
you
I-
dislike Shark Boy and Lava
Yeah,
Girl, dude? That's a classic.
I've heard.
I
I've
like
heard
Shark Boy and Lava Girl, ironically, not legitimately.
Like I heard a lot of good things about Alita too, and I was really happy with how it went. And it's funny because the critics gave it shit, but
And I
but the viewers loved it.
It's wonderfully done.
A lot of stuff I like is stuff that critics hate, because if it hits into any type of niche, normally critics are gonna kind of dislike it because they might not get parts of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
When I saw a lot of criticism, it was too traditional because they actually did a story arc where a vulnerable character becoming strong, and they gave it like a lot of shit. And there was a lot of controversy because some people were trying to make it like a Alita versus Captain Marvel thing. So some people ended up writing against it defensively because they thought if everybody go sees Alita, it was against women.
Or James
I don't know.
Woods.
It was crazy articles being written by people.
Or the
some
James
of them
Woods
retracted.
thing.
Some are still up there.
dude,
Yeah, like
I don't
there's a
wanna
lot
see
of
no
crazy
James
stuff.
Woods,
boycotting
goddamn.
both Captain Marvel and Alita because he's like, I don't want to see, female leads or something in movies. Like, this is bullshit. There's too many right now. And I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, James Woods, I actually liked you as an actor, but what are you doing?
I think he
Dude, that
retired
guy-
for a reason. I think he has seen that. I think he's having one of those elder moments a little more often. You know what I'm saying? He might need to.
Dude, no,
pills, go
he's just like a garbage person.
Yeah.
He's wildly like, yeah, I don't want to talk about James Wood. I'd only really known about him from Family, like watching that back in the day, and then I'm like, oh man, this guy is a nutcase.
I've been familiar with him since Casino.
He's in Casino.
Yeah, he's the boyfriend of Sharon Stone that fucking gets his ass kicked. And that De Niro wants to kill the whole movie.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, I'm bad with faces, man. I'm really bad at faces.
Oh yeah, Lester, I think was his name in the movie.
Oh, man.
Well,
Let's
there you go.
So let's get into the next one with GameStop. Is really starting to see like we've known that they've been on a decline for like, I don't know, the past 2 years, I think, a year and a half. And
last decade.
Well, I mean, they were booming for a while there, like in the big
Yeah.
console, like 360, PS3 console era. Like it was like their big money making time. But the fact that like digital download and game download is becoming such a predominant thing, especially when you can get it for cheaper, and you could just download it instead of having to go to a store and do anything. You don't have to leave the comfort of your own home if you don't want to. GameStop is offering a new 48-hour full refund on new releases, which is kind of an interesting thing. It's kind of trying to compete with like Steam and how they do their refunds within 2 weeks and all that fun stuff. But
Yeah, hoping I won't want to drive back to return things. That's that's what that is.
And it's too little too late for GameStop. Like they the whole that store credit thing, memed them into oblivion a decade ago.
well, and
I
it's
mean,
funny, they're only starting this promotion too with Days Gone, the PS4 exclusive that's coming up is Days Gone. They're trying it with that game, which I thought it was kind of a really weird game to do it with, because I got to play that game at a public event they did, and that game is solid. Like, I'm actually really excited about that one. But why the fuck would they do that on Days Gone? Why not do it on something else that's coming out that may be questionable?
They make a lot of questionable decisions. Like the way they managed ThinkGeek since they acquired that property is questionable as hell.
Dude, that's been
I don't know.
That's been weird on its own too.
I GameStop I think is trying to do everything themselves. Like they're trying to become like a self-sufficient brand. I think.
But I don't think it's doing it it's not executing it very well, I don't think.
No, not at all. They're not. They're doing it horribly. Of course, we all go back. We all had, those Game Informer. Matter of fact, Game Informer went under too. I was reading the other day. So
it's Game Informer.
it's kind of like
Australia went under, not
Yeah,
the entirety
yeah.
of it, but yeah.
Yeah, sure, yes. Yes. Game Informer over in Australia. But Australia is a major market for Game Informer. I think it's like third to the U.S. market for them, so it's getting a little close to home for them, to say the least.
Australia's a whole one under. Jeez.
Teabag. That was a really good joke.
Oh god! Oh shit!
Yeah, dude.
Giggity.
Imagine though if GameStop was smart and 15 years ago they made a GameStop from home app and then were a competitor to Steam. How robust and strong they'd still be.
If they, because they refuse to go the digital route basically,
Yeah.
and they're like, we're going to be the ultimate brick and mortar store. I'm like, but brick and mortar's going out of the way. We're still going to be the ultimate brick and mortar. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, guys, you're like, it's like Hodor.
And I just remember this. Not to mention, GameFly has been running circles around them for the past 3 years.
And
Just
they're not
straight.
even digital. They're just, we don't have brick and mortar stores. We'll just send you.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the wild thing is when Circuit City went out of business in like '97. Why didn't every
Hitting me in the feels.
Why didn't every technical store just be like, oh, maybe we should think about what we're doing?
Right.
Except Radio Shack.
Does Radio Shack still exist?
No. It's gone.
They got like 30 stores. Like they're owned by like a group of like hedge fund dudes. I don't know. They complete dissolve. It's gone.
Now go on the Fry's thing. Fry's still exists because they actually offer competitive prices with online, so they give you a reason to go in. And most of the time, they'll even beat that price by another 5 or 10%. So that's the reason
Fry's
they still.
and Micro Center both are solid, I think.
Yeah.
And also, they're like, they have so much stuff there, man. Like I can't go in there and not be like, man, I could use some of those cords that I've never seen before.
Yeah, basically. Or you find the one random, thing that you can't find for your computer setup that God knows Fry's probably has.
Dude, is there a Fry's near me?
I don't even know if there's one near you, but
I know.
GameFly still exists.
I don't know. I've never seen one in New England really, so I don't know, Kitty.
I don't think they're really East Coast at all.
Yeah,
the closest Fry's to me is in Indianapolis. So
yeah, that makes sense.
When I go to Gen Con this year, guess who's going to Fry's?
It's funny.
Bastard, I want to go to Gen Con.
There's a Micro Center place. I don't know if that's actual name, but you know what I'm talking about. The Fry's competitor that's just more basic. Yeah.
Oh, there's one in Chicago too. I guess that's the next closest.
Yeah, driving through Chicago sucks though.
Yeah.
When I visit Chicago, I just take the train because it's so nonsense to park there.
I definitely feel you there.
But yeah, a little slice of life right there for everybody.
I'm actually at the point where I don't like GameStop all that much. Like I still buy stuff occasionally from them if I really need to, and somebody else doesn't have it. But overall, like, I wouldn't be sad if they were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
For me, GameStop's like, I need something today, so I'm just gonna stop there and buy it. If it's something that I can wait any time for, I'm just gonna hit up Amazon or something else. Like,
in all honesty, I only go in the GameStop nowadays. If something on ThinkGeek goes out of stock, I go see if they have it in the clearance rack at GameStop.
Now,
that's the only reason I go in there now. I do most of my stuff digitally.
With all the physical bonuses like you get from like Amazon, like for example, if you pre-order on Amazon, you get $10 back. Exactly. on your next purchase, or even Best Buy was doing the same thing for a while. I think their program is gone now though, which was the Gamers Club or whatever it was. But what do you guys think what would save GameStop if would they have to start doing these kind of deals basically, like pre-order bonuses, and actually instead of just giving them exclusive crap, which we don't really give a shit about, like giving money back?
They would have to completely rework their business model. This brick and mortar shit would have to go.
Well, I mean, if you're thinking in saving the brick and mortar business, like to compete with even Amazon for like their $10 back, $10 back on another purchase on Amazon anywhere, like what
like if I was them, I would go to like more warehouse based and start like just becoming a service where people can buy games at maybe earlier or cheaper discount. Maybe try to buy out GameFly if they got enough money and just try to go on that business model.
Hey, with three-quarters
or try to copy that.
$750 million loss, I don't think they could buy anything right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it like I said, it's too little, too late. Like I said at the beginning of this particular arc of the conversation we've been having today.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm looking at. I tried to look at their parent companies to see if they'd have the money to do. And it's just like Barnes and Nobles, like Babbage's, like all this stuff. I'm like, they're just dead. They're dead in the water.
Yeah, I don't think there's much they can do. A $675 million loss total in last year alone is ridiculous. That's floundering business, like literally right there.
They should have made the decisions that I'm talking about, like making 180 on their business decisions 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They should have done it 5 years ago. They decided, like, no, everybody wants to still come to the mall for their video games. We swear they do. They're going to come to the mall.
Yeah.
You want to hear what might be the most brutal Wikipedia title I've ever seen? There's a section on GameStop's Wikipedia that just says GameStop's successful years 2004 to 2016.
Damn.
Like, dude, that is harsh. I love it.
And that's basically saying the last 3 years have been garbage, which is about what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh
Like,
man, dude,
that's like
brutal.
5 years ago. That they say 2016, 5 years, 2015. They should have made this decision to just scrap this whole. We want to keep brick and mortar. They should have went more digital. They should. They should have made like. If they should have made some kind of weird. I don't know what it could have been because I'm not like a guy who can, figure out a streaming service or a dynamic for one. It's not my forte. But they should have tried to work out some kind of deal with Steam or some kind of exclusives or something. Earn Steam money when you buy shit at GameStop or something. They should have done something 5 years ago, made some deals with the people actually doing this. But they didn't. They wanted to be, nah, you digital people are all weird hippie fools. We're not doing that. Traditional brick and mortar. People want to come to stores.
Yeah.
We don't.
Reading through their like timeline, it's just bad mistake after bad mistake. My favorite is they obtained 163 Radio Shack locations in February 2006 or 2015.
What?
It's just like,
yeah,
they
partnered
Radio Shacks in 2015, my dude. Like,
because they wanted to keep.
Didn't they just fail the year, like that same year or the year after?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what kept Radio Shack afloat until it fell last year. Was that buyout when they sold the stores to the GameStop? It was like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GameStop is just run by bad decisions.
They bought Congregate, the Flash game website in 2000. That's well after the heyday of Flash games, guys. Like, stop buying dying companies and trying to monetize them. They started buying AT&T retail stores, so watch out for them. God.
Jeez,
Anyway.
man.
I'm not surprised.
So moving on to the next story. We're gonna get in a little bit of the this random esports drama we got going on. Well, not really drama, but the Fortnite World Cup thing comes about, and more than 200 World Cup qualifiers forfeited their winnings due to cheating, which is
some people like ghost players. No, in Fortnite, no.
Yeah, 206 total players.
Nobody ghost plays in Fortnite.
Yeah. And it was like 1,200 players in total were banned. And I think the crazy thing about it is like there was people like this happened. I think I mentioned it a month or two ago. Tfue, probably the best Fortnite player, he died to a obvious cheater in a qualifier, and then he didn't make the Spring Cup or whatever it was, or the Winter Classic. I don't know what they call them. But the thing is, like, after that, he doesn't have any recompense. Like, he just lost due to a cheater, and now he doesn't get to play. And I'm like, fucking good work, Epic.
Like that, and that's the thing. Like, in terms of esports, like they're cool because they're putting all this stuff into it, but they're also making themselves look bad by not really addressing some of these things either. Like another thing, 48 players were banned for 7 days for account sharing. Like, how the fuck is that still a thing? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why do you even need to share an account when it's fucking free to get it? You know, like it blows my mind.
It's people boosting their friends. It's people like, yo, I want this. I want to brag that I'm a great gamer, so when my buddy play on my account because I suck.
Well,
he's gonna boost
it's not only that. This was for qualifiers and stuff for money. So what they did was they're like, we have one friend who's the best, and you're only allowed to enter this once. So we're gonna have him play on all our accounts so that he has more chances to win it all. You know.
Yeah,
just more network version of what I'm saying. Yeah. I get it. It's scum. Like, they're shitheads.
Yeah, and it's yeah. And then there's 8 accounts were banned for for teaming, which was kind of an interesting thing. There are a lot of different stuff in this article here. I'll post it here in chat, but it's kind of just silly.
Teaming, like I understand that it's crazy to me that people got caught teaming. That's so easy to do without like
You could totally do it without like even seeming remotely obvious.
I'm just gonna say this: Fortnite players, I don't see as the most tactical in any respect, even cheating.
Well, do you think there's probably a few people out there who are like, I'm really good at games and I want money, so they probably
Oh yeah, there are probably some pro gamers that are cheating their asses off, and there are some like
the ones who
YouTube
didn't get caught.
personalities. Yeah, it's probably the smart ones are not getting caught. I'm just saying there seems to be astronomically number of dumb people who get in the Fortnite anyways. I've seen a lot of people. For a lot of people, Fortnite's their entry game now.
Mhm.
So this is where a lot of dumb people are doing their first things. When online gaming became big when we were teenagers, a lot of people were the first ones to test out that cheating threshold they could get away with. And there's some hilarious bans.
I will say another benefit of the console era was it's really hard to cheat on like an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
You're not getting a modded Xbox 360 unless you're like, I'm going to put a lot of time and money into screwing over my friends.
Well, on top of that, they started banning like hardware IDs and really check for that stuff now. Like the live service really does a good job about weeding that stuff out now a lot.
Oh yeah. It'd be nice for them to have more things. Yeah.
So getting on to the next story, which I mean, Fortnite, I'm usually not a huge one to talk about, but this next one on our fun little bit for this week is the Gearbox executive, just like Randy Pitchford, just fucking. I feel like this is a personal vendetta for him for some reason. Like he's pissed at somebody at Valve for some odd reason.
Probably because they released his magic USB to the. Can't imagine. I'm sorry. That story's too bad. Don't trust this man. He's a bad man.
What, Randy Pitchford?
Yeah, dude. You know the medieval times story. I've talked about it on.
Oh yeah.
Before. It's the same guy. This guy got sued by his old company for misappropriating funds, and he also left a USB filled with porn and Borderlands 3 files at a medieval times restaurant. Like, it's crazy that he had a USB with both of them. But
why would you be carrying that around at medieval times to begin with?
Yeah,
I need my fix real quick. Hold on, let me plug it in my phone.
Dude, wildly enough,
I also got to catch up on some work.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
Also, why not password protect
or encrypt their stuff?
Borderlands 3 data. This was like 2 years ago. This wasn't before it was released. So it's like that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But hey, it is Randy Pitchford's birthday, so happy birthday, Randy. I hope you figured out the magic trick.
But aside of that, like just going into what he was talking about, like the whole like every time he tweets about Borderlands going on to Epic, really it's just like him talking about, hey, we're getting money, we're gonna do it. But he only like all of his tweets almost sounds bitter at Valve for whatever reason, and it's not due to the store, not due to anything else. It's just like he's just kind of just bitter in general. It seems like the vibe I get from it is just him bitter being at Valve, which I don't know why, because they sell tons of his games or tons of Borderlands games.
I don't know. Maybe these devs are just like mad because Valve has had such a leverage in the streaming community for a while now when it comes to getting games online. Steam has dominated. And now you got this new guy showing up. Hey, we'll double your money if you come to us.
Well, it's not even that. They're paying them to come over to try to double their money.
Yeah,
it's not like they're selling.
But they're offering more money to. They're offering a bigger cut. That was one of the main things Epic wanted to harp on when they were announcing that they were going to give developers a bigger cut. And now they're offering people deals for 1 year exclusivity deal contracts. Wherever the hell they
except
are.
For this one. This one's only 6 months, but still.
Yeah. They're working on all these weird deals out. And they're making. I bet their PR person, the one's going to talking to all these developers to get these exclusive deals, is going to be like, hey, you know how Valve has been screwing you out of money all these years? You know how that you've had to bargain with these guys with leverage over you? You come over here,
well,
take over you.
You know, it's funny.
I think it's like manipulation.
So on the baseline, so you got to remember too, Valve also does the thing for the high profile developers. The high profile developers for Steam also get a bigger cut by volume. So if they sell over 250,000 copies, they're getting 90%. 90.
Yeah, like I'm saying, system skewed.
It's 90%. So they
Yeah, I
like
get.
Valve or like 2K
I'm not
is
saying
already in
Valve's
that.
innocent whatsoever.
No, but I'm just saying like Valve has already got that 90% cut to the big developers because they're selling over 250k units on their games on average. So they're already getting the nicer cut on Valve, which is I don't understand their problem. Yeah, sure, the indie developers and stuff that, you know, people that aren't selling as many copies on Steam, yeah, sure, that makes a lot more sense because obviously the cut's by default bigger over here. But in this case, 2K is losing money on that 2%.
I
Like
think
that's not a big factor, but the 2% plus whatever bonus they're getting on top of that from Epic.
And I know, was it Phoenix Force? What was that game that just
Oh,
got pulled
Phoenix
from
Point.
Steam? I put an article up. It was very boring, but they showed to investors they're already at 191% like return on investment before releasing the game,
But
meaning that they
but they
got
have
three.
but they
They
lied
got
about some of that data.
3.3 million. Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Um,
because they had a 62% return rate on their Kickstarter because they fucking pulled it from Steam.
no. What they're saying though is the amount of money they got from Epic
Oh,
would have given them that, meaning that they got something along the lines of $3.3 million from Epic for going to their studio, which makes me think, how much do you give Borderlands if that game I hadn't heard about got $3 million? Borderlands got to be getting
like
crazy
100
money.
million or something at least.
they said they were going to use that They said they were going to use that Fortnite money, and they're using it. They're giving people multi-million-dollar contracts to say shove it to Valve. Think about it. Like I said, like I'm not saying like all these developers have necessarily a stick in their craw, but you got somebody who's offering you a lot more than what you've been getting. And if I'm a big developer and I'm thinking long-term wise, if they're offering me this much from the get-go, how much more can I take in a couple of years when I'm making a lot of sales for them?
I,
You know, so
I
2K is taking that downward. They're probably thinking, like, hey, in a couple of years, these people are going to be just as corrupt or just as skewed as all the others, and we'll get up there and we'll get an even bigger cut than we had the last place that we already screwed in on.
yeah, and it's up for payment. Yeah, not an X amount of sold. Yeah, and that definitely makes sense. But I mean, they're not. But that's why probably why they're only doing 6-month deals. They're not doing year-long deals like everybody else is doing right now. So that's also another thing.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what it is about them because it seems very, very absurd. It's like Randy Pitchfork isn't even having, dude. Also, that name, it sounds made up, so I hate saying
Right.
it. But
Sounds like Pitchfork, you know.
like you're saying, it seems like it's something personal, or he, in my mind, maybe this is projecting a little, but he's getting angry and like kind of talking shit to people who don't like his opinion. So it makes me think that the opinion was, here's a bunch of money up front, and maybe I was worried this game wouldn't make that much money, so I'm gonna do it. And now he's trying to defend himself by saying,
Yeah,
quote,
it's
bitch and moan if you want, but Epic Store is best for Borderlands 3. It's like, dude, like,
but in reality,
maybe
it's
be nice
not
to your
though.
consumers.
On the baseline of like the fact that if you don't have cloud saves by itself, and that game is a game you sink a lot of fucking time into.
Yeah, I want cloud saves for that game.
Yeah, that like I won't buy it for just that feature. If Epic Store had that and it was a year-long deal, I might have considered it, maybe. But even then, the cloud saves is not even on the roadmap until sometime next year. So I'm like, by the time that Borderlands comes out on Steam, or by the time it's released and goes on Steam, it'll already be there. So I'm like, I'm not worried about it. I'd rather have all my games in one place anyway. But that's just me personally.
No, I'm with you on that.
No,
I
it's
mean-
eBay. It's not that. It's the fact that I reform. For me personally, and I've said this to different people. Like for me personally, I reformat my PC every like 6 months. So like, and I'm never gonna fucking remember about doing saves.
I like cloud saves also because I'm playing games not at home a lot, and I
Yeah.
don't like restarting games. I
That
mean,
too.
it's not something huge for that, but I don't know.
I like Cloud Save for my RTSs and my city builders. I use a lot of mods, anyways.
Yeah.
It's good to have certain set save.
That said, I mean that's not my biggest reason at all, but it's definitely a solid reason. The thing though is also just from Randy Pitchfork's point, like he did a thing where Troy Baker revealed he's not going to be reprising his role in Borderlands 3. I don't remember who he played. It's one of the main guys. I don't remember their names. And then Randy Pitchfork said something along the lines of like, yeah, he turned it down, blah, blah, blah. And Troy Baker goes, no, I sent a message to Gearbox saying I would love to come back. And Gearbox sent a message saying that you're not coming back. And I'm like, so he's like, so why don't you fact check before you tweet out saying I turned down a job I would love to have? And I'm like, You know, it's that kind of stuff. Having the CEO of Gearbox just straight up lying to people on Twitter is pretty, you know, fucking dumb.
Yeah, and also eBay that goes into a far more technical thing that I don't even care to do it. I just reinstall everything anyway. I wipe my drives and just fucking start over, and I back up what I need to back up.
Sometimes my hard drive makes a hard or like a high pitched whine, so I'm worried all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like the cloud saves is just a convenience factor. Really, it is the biggest convenience factor, and the fact, like I said, I reformat so much that it's not worth it for me to try. Just keep trying to save my saves and redo them all the time. I don't like digging into my fucking code or into the files all that much. It's just a lot of extra time I don't have time for, and if it doesn't work, then I'm trying to troubleshoot it, and it's just time wasted instead of time playing games. It's really what it comes down to, for me anyway. But
wait, one month I want to make a 12 gig, 12 terabyte freaking cloud service in my house. I watched the YouTube video years ago. Somebody making one. I just want to do it. Just get a couple of NASs and just
bust it.
And a lot of those, I mean, getting a weird little tech thing too. A lot of the routers actually offer that service for you. All you have to do is plug in a fucking NAS drive to it, a USB, and you're done. Or AWS even. So going on to our top story, which I don't know, the Gearbox thing was kind of the top story, I think, just in the terms of depths we get to it. But this one is in terms of just the platform metrics and whatnot. I don't know if you guys, like, a lot of people pay attention to like the different platforms and stuff like that. Like me, I'm always trying to dig into the new tech, new platforms, new different things, or just trying different things. So Streamlabs and Stream Elements both came out with a state of the stream, which happens to report data from the first quarter of this year, which I'm surprised is I guess we're still in the second quarter, so the second quarter hasn't been out yet. But about all the different channels watched by viewers, by hours watched, by games watched, by mobile users versus subscriptions, like all kinds of data. Of course, like Twitch is at the top because it's just the behemoth it is, but a lot of this data, at least from the Streamlabs side, shows that basically like YouTube is catching up again, which is kind of weird because YouTube's kind of had this weird big resurgence coming along with, streamers going back to the platform, because like a lot of what's happening is with Twitch is it's so saturated in some parts of the market that it's just like it's killing it. It's eating itself essentially. Like there's so much there, not enough food, and people are looking at other options. Tell Hendo I want his hat, damn it. Oh, Kentucky wants it.
Yeah, I was just replying that your MV is delicious. So
but no, yeah, it's a lot of really interesting data that we've been seeing like tossed around this week here. I'll put in both of the articles, but man, like it's kind of good to see that there's something going on with that, like where people, like the people are actually trying out different things. And if you think back, like even the time I started streaming, which was like 2014, 15, if you were on Twitch and doing, made it big or whatever, you could actually do a lot of cool stuff. But now that's not the case. If you stick to solely just Twitch, you're not growing, like, except for maybe a little bit on Twitch, and it's a snail's pace now, unless you're in like some niche game that you're playing all the time and you're really good at it, kind of thing.
I can speak from experience. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, like,
majority of my followers are from my Eve streams.
Yeah, and then like there's those niche communities that like really really follow into it. Like for example, like my buddy Asian Avenger, he solely plays Magic. I mean, he used to play a lot more things. I used to play like Eternal and then a couple other card games at the same time. And then he moved to just Magic and has become a pro now. And he plays 6 at the Mythic Invitational at PAX East. But it's interesting to see like how Faria also. Well, I mean, Faria is not necessarily a big one of them, right? It's a kind of it's not as, I guess it's a CCG, I guess, in its own sense, but you don't have to pay for packs. In Faria, but like Eternal or Shadowverse or Gwent or Magic, all these things have booster packs you have to buy or earn or whatever. No Pixel RPG servers, yeah, and that was another thing. It's like RPGTA is like made a gigantic resurgence. I have no idea where the hell this has come from either. And stupid involvement of Switch, Switch games also is really interesting. Like got a really cool bunch of niche communities, but it's the same thing. Like you're seeing the same kind of games always at the top of Twitch in terms of stuff that's viewers. Yeah, Fairy is weird. I don't know, understand why like not a lot more people play it though, because they have such a good like they do a lot of community tournaments and they still throw money at it and do all that kind of stuff. But I think it's just the fact that it doesn't have that same draw as the.
Yeah, I was gonna go with I've never heard of it except for I know someone on the team plays it regularly.
Yeah,
That's the only
Lizzie.
reason I've ever heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I played it first like a few weeks back when I got a key for it from Versus Evil, and I only started hearing about it when Versus Evil took over, which I think is probably the reason why anybody started hearing about it. Is they just didn't have a good marketing, and the game is really solid too, which is it's its own thing. But I don't know. What do you guys think on these metrics that we're seeing here between the two, like the state of the streams, basically? Like it's
I'm
weird.
still looking over them. Give me a second.
We talked about a little bit of it, whereas like some of the data is kind of conflicting between the two. Because one, Streamlabs is getting their data from this company called Newzoo, and Stream Elements is getting it directly from the Twitch API, which I don't understand why there would be a difference.
Yeah, I'm worried that we might be getting some kind of incorrect data. I mean, obviously, we're either not looking at it correctly or someone's something.
I think some.
Really, either way.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a biased, accountant somewhere, like really, like skewing these numbers in their favor. At least in one party.
We see the numbers of say like live view, but it's not saying like for how long, if it was for the whole thing. We would need more data to actually see if this data is making sense.
Exactly.
Right now,
I'm just saying who's ever presenting it is presenting it in a way that's favoring them.
Yeah,
I just can't tell who is doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It could
really
be both
say.
of them doing the same thing.
It doesn't say for how long either. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of ambiguity. There's a lot of factors that are not being like I only took like one economics class in college, and I can already tell there's like a lot of factors missing from this for a decent sample size of anything.
Yeah, and whereas Stream Elements one is actually it says by hour.
Yeah, which could be. I don't know.
Unless that's the factor we're missing, and the other one everything's by hour.
Because I mean, isn't it even true that on Twitch viewers don't count for like the first like 10 minutes or something, or is that only hosts?
20 minutes in hosts and raids, and then only if they chat.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff there. Like
whereas viewers on the other platforms count as viewers, regardless if they're chatting or not, which is what I think it should be. Not Twitch trying to fucking eliminate viewership as it goes, which I still don't understand that to this day.
Yeah, it's like Twitch only sees viewership if it includes interaction. Like when somebody's hosting you, which I agree with Tommy, it's crap.
I think I'm convinced that the Twitch algorithm is something that someone messed up, but every time they try to test it on their own servers, it gets way worse, so they're just not touching it and they're afraid.
Yeah, because like before it used to count any time of anybody that was viewing your stream from anywhere. Granted, now that's where people kind of abused it at one point with the embedded views and shit, which I understand, but the raids and hosts like still not counting, which is like a direct forced injection of viewers. Yeah, some stay, some don't. Sure, that's fine, but don't discount them. Like, which doesn't fucking even. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. It kind of just annoys the shit out of me with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Yeah, I totally agree, Intaki. That really it's just it's like some people just don't want to fucking talk. Like I don't talk a lot during a lot of streams. I lurk a lot in a lot of streams, but it's only because I don't have the time to do it either, which is different. If the host rate 1,000 people were almost instant if they were partner versus. Well, no, I mean it wouldn't. Well, what? What happened there?
Oh, did I hit the wrong button? Damn it!
You deleted things. I was like, what is this?
Whoops! I was not in an offensive way. I was deleting a link and I accidentally deleted all chat. Not that it was really a bad link. We just don't want to link to where you buy followers.
Well, yeah, we don't.
Chat.
Well, we definitely don't.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It's not that we would be. We were discussing it as an issue, but I wanted to get rid of that link so it's not like in our logs, that type of thing. A little moderation. but instead I purged everything and I burnt it to the ground.
Sorry. But I don't know, like if host rates I could understand the fact if they were staying more than 10 minutes or still logged into it, that should still count, not just go away by itself. Like, what if people left their browser open and they're trying to support their favorite streamer and now their view doesn't count or doesn't mean anything? That's kind of also like, it's a shaft both ways, I think.
Yeah, there's not really a good answer. I'm not convinced. I think there's things that work for certain people, and I just don't think it's gonna work the whole thing.
Yeah, the muting thing is the worst one. I think that's hands down the worst one, because you're still fucking playing it. But that was in combination of Google's Chrome's fucking problem too, which I'm still annoyed about. That was their thing that they started with the whole muting tabs and another thing, which made sense because you get, random sites that'll go and have like video, random video ads that'll play. But it should have whitelisted things like YouTube and Twitch and whatever else you're actually going to a site for video.
Yeah, no, I agree with the muting thing, because there's like some people I'm trying to watch what they're doing, but at the same time I'm doing something on my own, and trying to make Twitch something that's your sole focus is ridiculous, because like people don't use TV like that. It's like it's on over there, and I'm working. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But sometimes I need to. Oh man, I can't do this part. Let's mute this and concentrate, and that shouldn't lose me as a viewer.
Yeah, that was really one of the most annoying ones. Like, I could probably give up some of the other ones that they've done, but the muting streams thing is also it's just a bad form, I think. That one just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But I'm talking about in top streamers on Twitch lately, it's kind of interesting how Summit and Shroud have basically come out on top in terms of best streamers in the first quarter of the year. Whereas we're seeing a huge resurgence in them, whereas Ninja is not in the top anymore.
Well, didn't Tfue like pass him anyways, like months ago?
Yep.
He's not even on the top list for here either.
Yeah, Ninja. Well, didn't Ninja like try to switch over to Apex?
Well, he got paid to switch over to Apex. That $1 million swap over for 2 weeks or a week or whatever it is. But then he still hasn't been able to recapture the audience because he's like, I don't know. Like the last couple times I've just tuned in randomly just to see what he's been doing. He took a massive vacation and focused on the sponsorship. Oh, well, I mean, that too. But even then, like every time I've tuned into him recently, he's always been like super fucking bitter on stream.
Yeah, I've seen a few news things of old Ninja's back, and it's just him like yelling swears for like a minute, like tight.
Well, I mean, it's just getting to the point where he feels like, I think he's feeling pressured and he doesn't want to take any time off, to do anything that's not getting him paid. And now he's like, just like trying to rake in money from every possible fucking outlet he can.
Yeah. Who knows?
I love lurking.
And,
yeah.
Start writing a Tombstone RPG on this pad of paper. It's gonna be brilliant.
Oh,
yes, man. Let's do it.
There's a portion that says "I'm your Huckleberry."
I better be involved in that campaign.
It's gonna be a one shot, dude. Released for free. Get ready.
Oh, I'm down. Oh, dude, don't even shit.
There we go.
That's my Sunday move, man.
I got like a whole book on Western folklore. You don't even get me to start making a character. I'll bring out some shit.
But anyway, I think that wraps up this week's stuff. Unless we got something else you guys want to go over.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I had a few miscellaneous things in notes, but we can take care of that whenever we have more time at a different show.
Yeah, this one, that Epic thing sucked up a lot of time, which is kind of to be given, because Epic's kind of been like a really big focus point of a lot of shitty news lately, just because, I don't know, and the fact that they keep going, they wish-washed on the whole like, oh, we're not going to go for exclusives go for the Steam exclusives anymore and try to pull stuff off of there. Now they're like purposely doing, like Anno was another one. I didn't realize that Anno was actually pre-order only on Steam for like 6 months. And then they pulled that and they had the thing up there like, oh yeah, due to the developer decision, we're pulling it after the release date.
Yeah, it's like, that's that. I don't like that shadiness.
That's
a little shitty from business practices.
It gives people a bad taste, and and they relate that bad taste to Epic because Epic's the one pulling them. And it's not really the developer's fault either. Like, I don't blame the developers for trying to make some money, but at the same time, it's like you guys gotta be better than them. Like they're gonna set the example for you if you're not. And basically, like it could leave a bad mark on some of these developers going forward, which in turn creates its own little level of instability, basically. So, and like game developer jobs and all that kind of stuff, which is already kind of volatile as it is. But aside of that, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
You guys good?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm done. I'll
Yeah, I'm
back
all set.
on.
I was just writing in chat.
Yeah. I'll be back on in
No
a few
worries.
hours to make a quickie RPG on stream.
Oh, wait, is your thing
That's
still
my
on
new
Saturdays?
Sunday jam.
Or
No.
turn out to squad up?
Mondays will be our squad up days that we're starting our first one tomorrow. That'll be running. So we'll be doing that on Fat B.
Nice. So, you guys doing the I think we're gonna do the what is it called? The Secret Neighbors soon, right?
I'm gonna see if people want to do Secret Neighbors or
you cut,
for the first one.
You cut out at the second Neighbors.
We might not do Secret Neighbors because
but you cut out right when you said Secret Neighbors. So what were the other games you were saying?
I did not say other games. I was saying we might play something we've all already played before to make it easy.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hey, anything works. Anything works. Yeah. What a convenient time to cut out. Alrighty, guys and gals. Well, I think that's good for this week. We'll be back next Sunday with more news and fun stuff. Hope you all have a great Easter Sunday. Hope everything is good. You all have a happy Easter. And we'll see you all next week. Any final words?
I'm out. I'm done.
Epic doesn't know what they're doing.
No,
Except
they're just like
having $1 billion.
They're just like this to all the developers, just to make it rain in the yard. That's all they're doing.
What? There's a video on YouTube called "Life of a Billionaire's Son." That's Epic Games, 100% right now.
Totally, I can see that being a thing. Alrighty, guys and gals, have a great one. We'll see you all next time. What the?